My name is Allie Walter, and the biggest challenge I had before working with Tony was the fact that I was literally trying to be everything to everyone. I I can do a lot within my business for consulting and helping clients with their own businesses, but essentially I was just chasing after way too many different types of markets, offering too many different things, and nobody was buying. So, in working with Tony, I've been able to overcome that huge challenge to the point that now he's really helped me get a lot better, not only streamlining my communication and being a lot more concise, but within that that narrow focus, it's way more punch hitting. It's a lot deeper. I connect a lot more strongly to my market. So essentially he's helped me take just this confusion and this overwhelm of, trying to be everything to everyone into really being able to craft my ideal offer, but also speaking directly to my ideal clients. And that has been tremendously helpful and just powerful with transforming my business. But I would say I had another really big challenge that was just as equally frustrating to me and depressing, because I'm an entrepreneur for a reason. I want to have the life I want. I want to have the financial freedom and stability that I want. And so that's why I do what I do. And that's what I also help other people create within their businesses. But then I can't do it for myself. At times, we're always great at teaching other people, but not so great with it ourselves. And so I started my business doing what most people do, is hustling, networking, being on the grind every single day. And I realized after a short time of being completely exhausted and depleted that it wasn't working. This business can be very feast or famine, because especially if you only serve a local market and there's only so many hours in a day to not only try to attract leads, but then serve the leads and everything else that comes into play with running a business, it just wasn't playing well for me. I mean, I was not making the money I wanted to make, and I was not living the life that I wanted to live. I felt restricted. I felt like I was in my own prison. And so working with Tony, by being able to now focus on a very specific market with a very specific offer that the market craves, and they want to work with me. They know, oh my gosh, this is exactly what she can do for me because of XYZ, because Tony's helped me be able to communicate that more clearly. Now I'm building a business that absolutely will achieve my dreams by creating the life that I want. I can now work wherever I want within the world because I can serve the world, essentially. There's no better freedom to me than making the money that you want to make and being able to make your own schedule and live the life you want. And had I not met Tony, I don't know if I would have ever gotten there without him, honestly. My biggest takeaway from the work with Tony was how much my strengths and my biggest talents of I'm a perfectionist. Holy crap, I'm a perfectionist. I'm extremely analytical, and I can be really hard on myself because of those two things. So as much as that has been the reason why I've always been very successful at pretty much anything I've done, and I'm very successful at the work that I do for my clients because of it, it's also what I've realized through my work with Tony been some of the biggest reasons why I've held myself back. And then even when I think about how much I've held myself back because of it, then I beat myself up for it. But now with my work with Tony, just that aha is being able to acknowledge it, accept it, and work through it. Even the first couple calls with Tony, I remember that, I thought, okay, you're hiring a business coach, you're going to work on your business. But immediately he was able to pinpoint things very deep within me, but in a very gentle way, to the point that it's almost like I thought I came up with it myself, but it was because he just extracted it in such an amazing way. But just literally the first couple of calls, it was very painful. I was extremely surprised at the level of emotion that I displayed, but it was incredible because it was like this weight was lifted of like, oh my gosh, this is the reason why, all this is happening and you're not making the progress you want to make. And so just being able to accept that and acknowledge it. But Tony then has given me the tools and the ability and an incredible amount of support to work through it all. And so as much as I know those things, because they're a part of me, they're never going to go away, and I'm always going to meet them at certain levels with, resistance or procrastination, because my fear of failure or fear of things not being perfect is always going to be top of mind. But now it's all about taking imperfect action and really working through what I'm struggling with, to where it's like, at least just get it done, reward yourself, feel good about it, and then you can fine-tune it down the road. Whereas in the past, I would just continue in paralysis and cycle myself in projects, never really accomplishing them. And so that really was the biggest, I think, takeaway personally that I've experienced through my work with Tony. But then it completely falls over into my professional work, because I've realized through the last few months that your business development is always grounded in your personal development. And if you're not willing to work on yourself and really, really progress your thinking and your mindsets and your ability to cope and to work through struggles, then you're going to have the same issues within your business. So with Tony's support, I mean, that's been the biggest blessing to me, and the biggest takeaway of just being able to accept all that is good and not so good about me, and being able to wrap that into something that I can use to really accelerate my results later down the road. What the work with Tony has done for my business and my life specifically, I can't really bottle up. It's done everything for me. The work professionally, I would say, has not only allowed me to create a model that I can now automate and package up to the point that I can not only bring in the money and the income that I know I deserve, that I want, but also with that, it's helping me create the lifestyle that I've craved and the lifestyle that I wasn't able to accomplish on my own before this time. And that to me means everything, because I feel very strongly about not working your life away. I mean, as entrepreneurs, we can be workaholics, and we can work really long hours, and all of a sudden years go by and it's like, oh my gosh, yes, you've created this amazing business, you've been really successful, but have you enjoyed the small moments? And that's what I crave. And my work with Tony, that's what it's allowing me to create within my life and my business, is I can go and enjoy the small moments and cherish life and be grateful each and every single day, while still being successful and making the money that I want to make. And with that has come immense confidence to be able to attack projects and goals that I never would have before this time. It's given me just that miracle of freedom, and it's also given me even a lot more hope for the future. That we all I think we all have a certain level of a goal that we set for ourselves, of like, this is what I want to really create in my life and I'll be happy. That's my legacy. But after working with Tony, I've bumped that up quite a few notches. I really, really believe and see a much brighter future for myself. And that is just incredibly inspiring, and it's a huge blessing, because as soon as you get that fire inside you, all it takes is the commitment and the work to get there, and you're going to achieve it. And so when I translate that over into my life, I mean, I guess that's what I mean, the two just interplay together. It's really helped me create everything I want right now, and I know that because of that, I'm going to have everything I want in the future. But more specifically, if you kind of drill it down to the finite details, I think the biggest thing that it's helped me personally with is just the support. People always say that you should surround yourself with folks that inspire you and motivate you and see the best in you. And I always thought I had. I mean, I have a really good support system and I have amazing people in my life, but up until meeting Tony, I've never had this kind of support. I've never had this kind of push from someone who can see what's holding you back, help you acknowledge it, but then give you the tools and push you and drive you to be able to overcome it. And that has done absolutely everything for me, even to the point of, going back to the personal growth, the support that Tony's given me, and even introducing me to different people that he knows that are absolutely just incredible people. I would have never met them without him. And he cares enough to be able to also open me up to meeting these different amazing people to accelerate my progress in my life. And so my work with Tony, I mean, what it's done for my business and my life is really everything. He's transformed my mindset. He's helped transform my life, my business, and it's only up from here. Incredible things are going to happen, and I'm so very grateful. So the fears that I think a lot of people have in wanting to work with a coach, at least from my point of view, my biggest fear or doubt before I started working with Tony, and a lot of clients that I've worked with have said, what can this really do for me? Or how is this any different than training or work with a coach that I've done in the past? And how I would respond to you if you're feeling that way is just shut it out, because Tony is absolutely one of a kind. There is nobody like him, and his work is not like some formula or some coach in a box. It's one of a kind, and it creates one of a kind results for you and for your business. It's not something that you kind of just have to dredge through and figure out on your own. The system works, but then beyond that, like I said, the support and how he's able to tailor and customize it to your exact needs is absolutely incredible. And so if you're questioning, what can this really do for me? Well, my answer is it can do everything for you. And the second answer or question would be, how is this any different? It's incredibly different. There's nobody like Tony, and there's nobody like, to me, from everything I've experienced, there's nobody like him or what he does. But I'd say there's another really big question or doubt that I had in the beginning, or a lot of people also might have, is, can this really work? As in, am I good enough, or can I really commit to it? Can I really follow through? Because it is scary. And especially when you're you have this opportunity at your plate, that's where, to me, a lot of the resistance can come into play of being like, oh my gosh. I mean, sometimes when you're so close to breaking through something, that's when you push it away or you back away from it. And my response to you would be to just go for it. Stop thinking, one way or the other. Stop trying to toil over the decision, questioning, if the investment is right for you. Just stop thinking about it and give yourself the gift of just going for it. And knowing that as long as you stay committed in the process to being open and honest, not only with yourself, but also with Tony, he's going to help you work through anything that you're struggling with. And you're going to build the confidence and the tools to be able to do that also for yourself. So no matter what doubts or fears you might have, just go for it.